Welcome to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. The first story is called Just Do It. Many years ago, back when Dad was a college student, he earned extra money for living expenses by working in a car manufacturing plant. The state at the time was a closed shop, which meant you had to join the union in order to work, unless you were in an executive position. One of the rules that unions set up at Dad's workplace was that no employee could work certain positions unless they had been trained for it. This included positions such as forklift operator and trash compactor. This was included in the contract and was a no-break rule. Enter George, the manager. Unlike many managers, George was actually a nice fellow. But to quote Joseph from It's a Wonderful Life, he has the IQ of a jackrabbit and didn't always think things through. One Saturday afternoon, Dad came into work when George pulled him aside. "I need you to do me a favor, son. The trash compactor is jammed and I need someone to crawl in and unjam it. You are the smallest of us, so it shouldn't be a problem for you." Now, not only had Dad not been trained for loading the compactor, but even he knew crawling in there would be a dumb idea. George, I haven't been trained for this position." George got all flustered and told him, "Just do it." Dad then got an idea for some malicious compliance. "I'll do it, but is it okay if I ask one of the other guys to spot me and make sure I don't get squashed?" "That will be fine, just make sure the job is done." Dad then headed to his union shop leader Kenny. Like George, Kenny was a decent fellow, but was very protective of his workers. Dad told Kenny what had happened and asked him to spot him. Cue Kenny turning at least 5 shades of purple before storming to George's office. Dad told me the whole floor went silent as Kenny unloaded on George for trying to make a poor college kid do something so dangerous, and that this will be recorded and written up. Kenny stormed out, leaving a frightened looking George quaking in his steel-toed boots. The compactor ended up getting fixed without someone crawling into it, and George always asked if people were trained for positions before asking them to do it. The next story is called Garden Tools. This happened about 2 years ago. I should also mention that I am tatted up and have weird hair, and my neighbor is ultra religious and extra conservative. It's a beautiful fall day, and I take the opportunity to do some gardening to get my plants ready for winter. I realize my pruning shears are rusted shut because silly me left them out in the elements. So I go and grab a kitchen knife that I never use and start chopping away at my hostas. My neighbor, let's call her Mrs. Meanie, sees me working and decides to come and have a chat. She informs me that the knife I'm using, a 12-inch thin kitchen knife, is very threatening and dangerous looking, and if I don't stop using it, she's going to call the cops. I reassure her that I'm only using it to prune my plants. Mrs. Meanie decides that me chopping up dead hosta leaves equals terroristic threats and goes on and calls the cops. They show up. I explain the situation, they laugh and tell me that maybe to ease the tension I should probably get a new pruning tool. Enter malicious compliance. I go to the local hardware store and in the garden center find the biggest and baddest machete they can legally sell. I leave feeling confident I won't anger anyone anymore. So I start chopping away with my new garden friend, and Mrs. Meanie is appalled at what she is seeing. A massacre of dead growth and tree limbs lay at my feet. She yells from her window in a scared voice, "You are going to jail," before she calls the cops. Again, the cops show up, and the same officers arrive, laughing even harder than before. He says I am technically using a garden tool and no threat can be found. She moved out shortly after. The third story is called Learn Your Responsibilities. I started a new job a few weeks ago, and after printing a lot of things, we finally ran out of paper in the printer. I went to the shelf of random supplies and could not find printer paper, so I asked my supervisor about it. She told me to get some from the front desk lady. Obviously, this seemed like a simple task, but as soon as I asked the front desk lady for paper, she got snippy. "Isn't it your job to order supplies? Why haven't you ordered more paper? I was told to get it from you. No one has said anything about ordering supplies or trained me in anything like that. You need to learn your job, because this isn't my job and I'm not going to do yours for you. You need to talk to your supervisor about your role so you can learn how to do your own job and order some yourself. I'll give you 2 packs of paper, but that's it." Being Midwestern, I smiled and thanked her. Then I did exactly as she instructed, asked my boss how to order supplies. My boss, being director of training of a massive organization, was very confused by my question, because it made no sense. We don't order supplies. Just refilling the paper in the printer was going out of my way to be helpful. I told her that the front desk lady told me it was in my job description, and I, being new, wanted to confirm that. After all, I'm in charge of a lot of things. My boss decided to confirm this by printing my job description and going to the front desk lady and having a chat with her. Apparently, this isn't the first time someone had to have a chat with her about this, because she's done this to others before. Basically, she passed on this work to new workers in entry-level positions. Unfortunately for her, she mistook me for one of those new people, not realizing what my position is and who my boss is. A colleague told me that my boss kindly informed the front desk lady about not only my job duties but hers as well. No one else orders supplies aside from the front desk staff. That is one of her jobs. She has a storage room full of supplies, and if any employee needs supplies, she is to give it to them without comment and do her job. For the rest of the day, the front desk lady avoided eye contact with me, and now I can get supplies from her whenever I need them. Hopefully she's learned how to do her job and will stop telling other people how to do theirs. If not, I'll make sure all new and current employees know what their job is in training. The last story is called 1 cent. Early 2000s, we had a satellite TV set up in our home. 1 satellite dish, 2 receivers. It worked fine. We had a windstorm, knocked some large branches off a tree next to the house. Minor damage to the deck and siding, and the satellite dish was destroyed. Insurance paid handsomely for home repairs, but to my minor annoyance we were told that the dish wasn't covered. Okay then, off to the big blue box store I go, where we purchased the original setup. I was delighted to find they had just the satellite dish for sale, but not so happy that it cost close to $200. We didn't pay that much for the original package. But wait, they were running a promotion. Purchase a complete package with free installation for only 1 cent. Yes, just 1 cent. After the instant purchase rebate, of course, but that was okay. I asked some questions. They couldn't put it on our existing account, it was for new customers only. New customers as defined by a unique phone number. Next question, when does the billing start? Oh, you won't be billed for the service until you activate the receiver, sir. The final gear in my head turned into place and I signed up right on the spot, using my wife's cell phone number to set up a new customer account. We scheduled the installation date, I took the rather large box home and I rated the day of my triumph. You might have figured it out already, but there's more. The installers are independent contractors. Guy shows up at our house ready to pull the cable, install coax outlets, etc. I told him I just needed the satellite dish in the box installed on the roof, explained about the storm, the cost of a replacement dish and the penny package deal. After he finished laughing, he explained to me that I really screwed over the big blue box store company. They get a rebate from the manufacturer when the receiver is activated. I wasn't going to activate it, so no rebate. They ate the cost of the whole package, less the penny I paid, plus they paid this guy to come out to install it. I asked if he could still mount the dish and he laughed again. Said he was getting paid for 3 hours of work and he'd be done in 15 minutes. Actually thanked me because it was his last appointment of the day and he could go home early. And with that, we end today's video. Let me know what you think about the stories. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the stories and today's video? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. And I hope you have a great day. Stay safe. Bye bye.